next bombshell to hit the British monarchy? Or will this brand new book be far more respectful? As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Thank you for joining me today, and as ever, lovely to see you all. Also, thank you for your kind comments about that union leader, Mick Lynch. Yes, not necessarily well known around the world, but I wanted to highlight the fact that these people seemingly are desperate for fame. You know, he's already appeared on Question Time, a political chat show over here, always ready and willing, of course, to come on camera to discuss his forthcoming strikes. Seemingly though, when I put a bid in to interview him, yes, not responded, and apparently way too busy to chat to me. I wonder why. But it's interesting, isn't it? Because as I say, they seem to be fame hungry, always want to get their point across. But seemingly when somebody wants to question them about their real ethics, their background, well, they don't want to know. Now, this is going to be a big problem for Prince Charles, or should I say now His Majesty King Charles III. That's right, still getting used to it. We all are though, aren't we? This really all centres upon the reshuffle, the reorganisation of the staff, not just from Clarence House, but of course the staff that were working and serving for so many years under our wonderful monarch, our gracious Majesty the Queen, Queen Elizabeth II. And more importantly, it's about this particular lady here, Angela Kelly, who had unrivaled access to the monarch and was a dear friend. So much so, in fact, that the monarch allowed her to write 2 books so far, all about, you know, the fashion and the sort of girly chats. They're sort of, you know, very warm, readable books, you know. However, according to a very good source, His Majesty the King was never really that keen. And I'll just leave that one there. He apparently much preferred the company for Her Majesty of a very, very esteemed valet footman nicknamed Tall Paul. So much so that Tall Paul was offered a position within the new court of King Charles, but he's decided apparently to retire. But now there's the thorny issue of Angela Kelly's 3rd book. Now, according to good sources, the 3rd book was going to be all about Her Majesty's corgis, or that was, you know, the remit that was put forward. Seems a strange thing for a book though, doesn't it? How on earth could you keep all of that going? I love animals, as I'm sure you all know, many of us do watching this channel, but really a full book on the Queen's corgis? Apparently that was the deal when they signed on the dotted line. But now, according to a very good source, they're rather concerned exactly as to, well, whether that will still remain a book about corgis. Of course, when you think about it, Angela had unrivaled access to our wonderful late monarch, becoming a very good friend, as I said. And her stories really are dynamite, simply because she would have spoken in private at length with our wonderful monarch. Now, I'm not suggesting for one moment that this is Angela's plot, but seemingly somehow, somewhere, people within inside the royal court are very nervous, given the fact that she's now not being offered a position and taken the option to retire. Apparently she's going to be spending a lot of time in America. That is, of course, the land where people will pay big bucks for memories on the British monarchy. Let's not forget, way back in the 80s and 90s, even Diana's brother, Charles Spencer, brokered a deal with NBC News. And then, of course, more recently, Pippa Middleton decided to sign on the dotted line once again with NBC, but to not much great success, although a lot of money. So will Angela do the same? But in order to do that, as ever with anything related to the royals, she's going to have to reveal some golden nuggets. But seemingly just to have her on the sofa promoting a book would ensure big ratings. For now, according to that good source, King Charles is a little bit concerned about exactly what one could expect, because after all, he himself, and I say this very lightly, while enjoyed the company of Miss Kelly, wasn't necessarily, according to that good source, her #1 fan. I'll just leave that there for now. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.